Well, hats off to Kristen, and hats off to you as always, Kevin. And yes, it's going to get a lot worse, I think. Thank you very much. Meantime, sources to Fox are confirming 4 people on the FBI's terror watch list have been arrested at our southern border since October. Secretary Mayorkas is explaining today that these attempts by terror suspects to sneak across our border are nothing new, but how big of a concern should this be? I want to bring in former acting DHS Secretary under President Trump and now Heritage Foundation visiting fellow Chad Wolf. Chad, by the way, I let the audience know that we did reach out to Secretary Mayorkas, and so far I have not heard back. Now, Chad, the policies, let's be quite frank, from the campaign trail all the way up into the inauguration and even now, seem to be an invitation that the world is picking up on, hence the crisis at the border. You got to believe it's going to get a lot worse than this.
Well, it's absolutely going to get worse. And not only the messaging has been a concern, but also the policies, the executive orders, and everything that they have done to tear down a functioning immigration system that they inherited on January the 20th. I think all of those factors have contributed to the crisis and the surge that we see on that border today. And as far as I can tell, their path forward is to simply treat this as a capacity issue and trying to process more individuals coming into the country versus border security versus the rule of law and holding those accountable that break the law. And that's what's concerning here, and I think the crisis will continue.
I spoke with the mayor of a border town, Gila, Arizona, and we talked about the composition of some of the people who've been stopped at the border from far away as Africa, Romania. Certainly it would stand to reason that terrorists see this, folks who are on a terror watch list, and everyone kind of gets a sense how porous it is and how much easier it might be to get through. Can you quantify yet just how significantly the increased terror threat could be because of this?
Well, I think anytime that you have significant surge, a significant number of individuals, whether it was caravans back in 2019 or a rush of individuals like we see today, the concern there is that bad people, terrorists, suspected or known terrorists, or what we call special interest aliens are going to embed themselves in that flow of people and somehow cross into the U.S. And either elude Border Patrol or get released into the interior, as they're doing with most families today. And so that's the concern. And we saw that back in 2019. So it's not only terrorist or known or suspected terrorists, what we call KSTs, but it's also, there's another group called special interest aliens. And these are individuals that have traffic patterns like terrorists, perhaps are not on a watch list, but come from Europe or Africa or Asia into South America and make their way up through Central America and Mexico to that border that law enforcement needs to be concerned with. But at the end of the day, I think what's probably most concerning is that because of the number of individuals that are crossing, we're having to pull Border Patrol off of their national security mission and into their Border Patrol stations to care and feed these number of individuals instead of being on the line doing that Homeland Security, national security mission that they're trained to do.
Chad, I went to the website today for Border Customs and Border Protection, and just some of these numbers are staggering. Unaccompanied alien children from 0 to 17, Big Ben up 166%, Del Rio up 141%, El Paso up 144%. Even more staggering was single adults. Single adults in Big Ben are up 316%. Del Rio up 339%. Yuma up 324%. At what point would the administration call this a crisis? Because I would suspect within the DHS, they're already acting like this is a crisis.
Oh, well, absolutely. They are certainly acting like a crisis, as well as they should, because that's what it is a full-blown crisis. The border is on fire at the moment, and you need to be concerned. You talked about unaccompanied alien children, UACs earlier. We know that's a concern. I think that the department continues to talk about 6- and 7-year-olds, knowing that 75% of unaccompanied alien children are between the ages of 15 and 17, and the vast majority of those are male. And so they are doing that for an intention. They're trying to appeal to people's emotions, knowing that only 25% are under the age of 15. So we need to be very clear with the American people. What is the threat? What are the populations coming across that border? And then there's various ways to deal with them. The family units are also concerning, up over 170% in February over January as well.
Chad Wolf, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So what's driving one state to tell the White House if it won't allow tax cutting, it'll get suing?